Greetings, sisters and brothers. This is Bill Guffian, Bishop for the Indiana-Kentucky Mission Territory of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. We hear it in Isaiah 43, and we hear it every time we proclaim, Christ has died, Christ is risen, Christ will come again. God is doing a new thing. God is doing lots of new things, just as God has promised, in your life, in the life of your congregation or ministry, and in the world around you. Around every one of us, God is doing new things. Even and especially when the times are hard and the challenges are great, when things have changed and continue to change so much and so quickly that we find ourselves confused about how to be church, about how to most effectively engage those who are not yet a part of the life of the community of faith, and how to be a follower of Jesus in the world each day. God makes a way even in this wilderness, rivers in the desert. Of course, the truth is no river runs in a straight line. Every river encounters blockages along the way. Every river rushes faster than the banks can bear at times. Every river at some time, for some reason, needs to find a new way forward. So it goes about the task of reforming its way through the world, carving new channels, building new banks, gathering up the support that it needs for the new directions it's going. New Vision for a New Day is an organic initiative intended to open our eyes, our ears, and our hearts to see the new things God is doing, and then to do what's necessary to get on board with them, to align our lives with them, to support them, nourish them, make them available to anyone and everyone who needs God's living water. In other words, New Vision for a New Day is one way for us to discover ways to deepen the channels and build the banks for God's flowing river. Together we'll find ways to strengthen our ability to empower, equip, and encourage one another to make Christ known, and to deepen our capacity to go with the flow of God's mission of healing and hope throughout this Indiana-Kentucky Mission Territory and far beyond. We begin this process by listening deeply to God, to one another, and to the world. In this gathering, you're given an opportunity to do that listening, to share where you see God doing a new thing. You're invited to share and listen deeply together for the flow of God's grace in each other's lives, in the mission centers of this synod, and in the world. You'll share with one another a bit about what God is doing in and through your community of faith. You'll share what assistance you need as together we seek to deepen those channels and build the banks from the rich soil of our life together. In just a moment, you'll be given instructions for this listening post. And then, after your conversation, you'll be asked to submit summaries, reports, and even all the individual completed copies of the worksheets that you'll be given. As you talk with each other, keep in mind that you are not representing your congregation or ministry in any formal way. You're not committing your congregation to anything. You're simply sharing with one another your individual perspectives, highlighting the gifts that you see, sharing the struggles, and lifting up where you could use some assistance from your sisters and brothers. In fact, I hope that you will take this process on the road with you from here. Use it in the small groups that you're involved with, the choir, the church council, the local ministerium, a women's group, a youth group, even a neighborhood Bible study, and then send in the completed worksheets. We want to hear from as many people in as many different contexts as possible. And we trust that we will find our relationships with one another deepening along the way. These conversations will be collated and explored by the New Vision team over the next few months. They will assist us then to think creatively and act boldly in new ways or in renewing old ways of walking through the wilderness along God's way, sustained by God's flowing stream of new life. The team will also formulate proposals for priorities, synod and other structures, practices, and bold actions to help us more faithfully and effectively empower, equip, and encourage one another to make Christ known. Thank you, dear sisters and brothers, for being a partner in this exciting venture. May God's Spirit open our hearts, our eyes, our ears, to see and hear clearly what God is doing in our world, and then strengthen our hands and our feet to follow. Peace be with you.